I can't make the noise of the vuvuzela. I have one around here somewhere. I'm sure I'll get to it. Anyway, in this one, this is a Afterfight Afterthought. And I do these on big boxing fights and things that happen like that. And I will do these on the big MMA fights from now on. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it is I go through both fighters, the talk that's going on before the fight, during the fight, and now after the fight. What are their prospects afterward, after the fight? I start out with the winner in the after fight, and then I go to the loser, the afterthought. Now, you getting it now? All right. That's for some of you new guys. Okay, obviously this is over the Brock Lesnar-Shane Carwin fight. And the first one we'll go with is Brock Lesnar. He was the winner. And going into this fight, you know, he had the illness. He had the diverticulitis. He had that freakishly high protein diet. Wound up getting an ulcerated intestine, which actually started spewing, you know, the waste, the sewage and stuff like that into his system, which in turn caused his body to go into overdrive, and he got mononucleosis. They wondered what was going on. This had actually been happening with him for about a year. So, and, you know, they were thinking he might even die from this. So, very early into his MMA career, he's only had the 5 fights. He has this huge thing. He has to take a year off to get it figured out, come back in and train. Now, he was raw to the game coming into this fight to begin with, let alone taking on who was arguably one of the most dominating heavyweights just about ever. And with the way he was mowing down people, nobody had even made it out of the first round with this guy. So everybody's questioning Lesnar, and they're saying, hey, this guy is just as big as you are. He's just as strong, and he hits harder. He's got a better ground game. He's better at submissions. So he's hearing all this stuff going into the fight. He's training. He had a great corner with him. People take away from his wins, saying, oh, well, it was just Frank Mir. And then he beat an old Randy Couture, which I would never say to that man's face. And I've been, you know, like with Randy, and I would never say that because he's a bad dude. But anyway, you know, going through all this stuff, you know, would he be ready? Could he be ready? He's been off a year, and he just started. So a lot of bad things were going his way. And then the fight comes. And he's in there, and he gets absolutely blasted, one by a big knee. And then a couple, about 10, 20 seconds later, he catches a massive uppercut from Carwin. And he feels the power, and he goes down, and he's covering up. And with those big arms, I mean, very few of the punches were getting through. Some of them were getting through. There was a nice elbow that landed. Some solid shots did get through, but the majority of them were bouncing off his elbows, hitting off his forearms, hitting off those biceps. They weren't landing solid shots, and a lot of them were hits to the side of the head with the side of the hand, so they weren't massive shots. He weathers that storm. He actually winds up standing up, gets him up, goes through, survives the round, gets out of it, and then goes into the second round. By then, he's felt Carwin's power. And this is where the athlete in him comes out. He's far more athletic than Carwin will ever be. And he gets out there and he catches Carwin, tired, shoots him down. Because Carwin is completely gassed. He blew his load way early in the fight. And gets him, and he chokes him out with an arm triangle. And at first the announcers are like, oh, well, he doesn't really have it cinched in. Let me tell you, man, when you're as strong as these guys are, you don't really need to have a whole lot cinched in to break stuff, to rip stuff, tear stuff. You don't need to have it hooked in perfect. And Carwin tapped out, and it was over in the second round. Carwin was gassed, he was done. And now you look at the future of Lesnar. Who is next on his... Well, Cain Velasquez is the newest guy that everybody's pumping up to take him on. He's going to be the newest guy to take a beating, too, from Lesnar. Because if Lesnar improves his strike game, now you're talking an animal, an absolute animal in there. His strike game is lacking. He needs to get somebody, to teach him how to throw those punches right. Because we know he's got the beard. We know he's got there. So, on to Shane Carwin. Coming into this fight, he's pumped. He's got everybody in his corner. Everybody's talking about how he's going to knock out Lesnar. He's going to do this to Lesnar. He's going to he's better at submission. He's better at striking. He's more experienced. He's on a 4 KO streak in the big show. Still don't like to say the I don't know, in the big show. He's 12-0 overall, 7 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's got everything going into him. You had the beat down Amir. You had his beat down of Gonzaga, whose claim to fame was kicking Crow Cop upside the head really good. He's everything. Everybody around him. Everybody is talking about how this is the new champ. This is the champ. This is the guy that's going to do it. And he gets all the build up and he gets all the hype. And he goes in that ring and it looks like it. He goes out there and you could tell his stand-up was significantly better than Lesnar's. And he gets in there and he lands a nice knee. And he says, oh, this guy doesn't want to feel my power. And they start exchanging and then he lands a massive uppercut. And he knows he has Lesnar hurt. And he goes in there and he races in like almost like a piranha's attacking a poor cow that fell in the river. And he's going off and he's just throwing punches to throw punches. There's no accuracy involved. There's no aiming there. He's just throwing them. And a couple of them land. He throws the elbows. He realizes, hey, he starts getting tired and he starts getting winded. And the second round happens. He gives the nice little wink. And then Lesnar chokes him out. Because he had absolutely no gas in the tank. For someone that's supposedly an elite athlete to be absolutely gassed going into only the second round, was kind of shocking to see. Apparently he's, doesn't involve a whole lot of cardio. But like I said earlier, throwing a punch is a hell of a lot harder than, grabbing an arm or doing a lot of that stuff, because it takes a properly thrown punch is your whole body is involved in it, and it takes a lot of energy to throw those punches, even more if you miss. So he gets beat, he taps out, and what is on the schedule now? Well, obviously he's going to want a rematch, because he's going to think, hey, if I can touch him here, I build my cardio up, I've got a legit shot at him. Will he weigh 265 if he builds his cardio up? Because he's not as big as Lesnar. When you look at it, there was a significant size difference between those two guys. Significant. So, if he involves that, that means he's going to have to lose. He's going to lose strength. He's going to lose, a little bit of that. He might gain some speed though, get a little faster. Still going to have good, very immense power in his shots. Who's out there for him now? Well, he's got the same guys. The same guys are still going to want to fight him now. He might even get more people wanting to fight him now that they've seen, hey, if I can get by the first round, I got a shot. So that's going to open up for him. Maybe Velasquez fights him first. Velasquez is going to go for the title. Let's be honest. So, the other guys are going to open up. So, obviously the door isn't closed. He's got the rematch. He's got a couple good years left in him, especially with his size. But he is 35. I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. Don't, he's not spring chicken. So there you go. This is the Afterfight Afterthought. Hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to hearing your posts. Please feel free to comment, rate, subscribe. If you like this vid, you can see more of my vids there. Alright? Well, hey, this is Bigragu. I'm out.